This is Leisha Holmes of Key Recruitment, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Louise Archer, who I was delighted to have met a number of years ago. Louise is going to explain who she is and what her service is before we crack on with our interview. So over to you, Louise. Hello.
Thanks, Leisha. Hi, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. We've known each other for ages, and just for those of you that don't know me, I'm the founder of Retrained Search, and what we do is help permanent contingent recruitment teams to sell and deliver retained search assignments, and sometimes then to go on and embed retained search as a service within the business.
Excellent. And obviously that's something that I want to talk to you about today, because during our conversation since we've been in lockdown, I've had a number of inquiries, and I'm a huge believer that this is about differentiating yourself in the market. So how can recruiters position selling a retained solution in this current climate as we are still in lockdown?
Yeah, sure. It's not a straightforward answer, but I'm going to do my best to answer it as quickly and as succinctly as I can. Basically, I can't unfortunately teach you how to sell and deliver full retained search assignments in 10 minutes. Unfortunately, I could give you some tips, and you probably could go on to maybe sell one or two, but the delivery process is also different. And I really feel like it's my job to protect the service and make sure that not only is it used in the right situations, but also that it's delivered in the right way. So what I can do, though, is to help you secure some financial commitments from your clients and the clients that you are currently working with, which I think is the next best thing. So my main kind of advice for this, and I've had several consultants use these tips successfully recently, so I know it works. And I'm just going to kind of talk you through that step by step. So the first thing to do is, and this is with the clients that you're currently working with, either you have existing positions or you may well have new jobs that come in from those clients. So firstly, instead of taking a spec and just working on a job, take the time to set a call and book a call to go through it thoroughly. So not just there and then, make sure you've got time to go away, do some preparation, be ready for that call, and actually have and book some time, say 30 minutes in with that client to get a full understanding of the true picture. Even if this is a position that you're currently working on, you can still use these techniques. So it might be that you want to reevaluate or reassess or have a recap on where we are with this position. I think it's a really good idea, if you haven't already done that with them, to do it. So book this call, prep your questions, and I love to have a structure in place for my questions and have them ready and have them written down so that I know I'm leading that call and I'm taking it in the direction I want it to go. And this is the theory that we use when we're selling full retained solutions as well. But the order that's a good idea to take them through is to start with them as a person, and then you can, do the small talk bit, but are they okay? And check on them. You've got to be empathetic and human. Then check on the business. How's the business? Is everything, what's going on? How are you finding it? And then move on to talent acquisition, and don't dwell too long on each of these things, 5 minutes tops, on each of those things. Then move on to talent acquisition. How is it affecting talent acquisition? What kind of challenges are you facing? Has it all come to a stop, or are there things, still happening? What impact is it going to have? That if it has stopped, what impact is that going to have on hiring and resources and it as a whole? And only then move on to the specific requirement. And then what's really important here is to find out, do they need to hire it now? Do they definitely need to hire it now? Mm-hmm. Because if they don't need to hire it now, they're probably not going to. Mm-hmm. And they're probably going to end up just either using this time to gather information and then not end up making a hire. Or they're going to pull it, partway through. So let's make sure the need is definitely there. And we almost want them to acknowledge that it is going to be challenging before we then position what our solution is going to be. So let's ask questions around talent acquisition, like, around the specific requirements, not just what do you need, but have you made this hire before? Is this something you've got experience in? How did you find it the last time you made this kind of hire? You need them to say, yeah, I acknowledge this is going to be quite tough, So find out, what challenges do you think we're going to face? Almost pull it out of them a bit. And then, do we definitely need to hire it now? do you definitely, is there any way we can hold this off and just, you know, and delay it and actually wait until the times are better? You need them to say, no, I definitely want it now. And then if they do, you know, they definitely do want to go ahead, let's be human about it. This is the time to say, okay, I really want to help you. And this is where I use the can help. I want to help, but so yeah, absolutely can help you. I can definitely help you. And I've got all the time in the world because I'm not doing anything else. You know, I can absolutely throw the kitchen sink at this. And I really want to help you because this is my favorite subject and I love this market and I know all about it. And all these people are all sitting at home waiting for me to talk to them. So I absolutely want to help you. But, and here's the thing, it's going to be really difficult for me to commit the kind of time and the effort and the energy required. It's a really difficult market. It's more difficult now than ever. Your candidates are even more worried about moving positions and they don't want to be disloyal to an employer that is maybe paying their wages or you know, is supporting through this difficult time. It's going to be quite challenging. You know, you can even use examples. I've had 5 jobs pulled on me in the last week. You know, I've spent all this time working on them and I've had clients, you know, so, and then here's the deal. I would really like to be able to spend the kind of time and then reiterate that you really want to and you absolutely can, but I'd really like to have some commitment from you. I'm going to need some financial commitment from you to be able to apply that kind of time and energy and effort that's required. If we have that, I'm absolutely confident in my ability to be able to produce a result. And that's a really nice way in using this situation to explain and be human and tap into their understanding and get closer to your clients so they can see your predicament as well. And even then you can, you know, if they're nervous about it, or I'm not quite sure, well, look, you know, this isn't about me wanting the deposit. I don't just want, you know, whatever we agree is a small deposit, you know, maybe £2,000 or £3,000 or whatever you feel comfortable with. It's not about that. I want the full fee. I want to complete this to get the full fee. And even if I work on this for a couple of weeks for you and you're not happy with it, I'll reimburse it. You know, that's how confident I am that if you can allow me to spend the kind of time on it, I know we will get a result.
Yeah, no.
Or you could put maybe like sorry, Lee, you should put like a service level agreement basic. You know, I will absolutely guarantee to have 2 or 3 qualified, you know, interested candidates to you by the end of week 2. And if not, you know, you can have your deposit back.
I was going to say, sorry to interject there. I think it's important that if anybody's interested in understanding how to make it more quantifiable when you're selling a retained search, that's what you specialise in, and then that's when they should definitely get in touch with you to talk about how to do that. But as an overview and as a mindset, this is about creating, you know, that it's that empathy. And your tone is just so perfect with it, Louise, which is clearly why you're an absolute specialist in this area. But actually, as you say, it's just really calm. It's a really obvious thing to suggest to a client, isn't it? That you've already got a relationship with, that you know that there's a need in the business, and it's commercial sense. I mean, what other professional would go to the level of service that a recruiter goes to for potentially no value at the end of it? It's crazy. You wouldn't go to a surgeon and say, can you sort out my, I don't know, you know, doing cheek implants without sort of paying something up front. So it's a crazy notion, isn't it? I think that's a great insight and introduction to people that are looking at the retained solution.
And I forgot to say as well, I actually had, those of you that follow me might have noticed, but I had some contact from a senior candidate in a really niche market. He had a very niche skill set. He was clearly a very, very good candidate. He responded to a post that I put on recently about the, you know, the value and the importance of working on a committed basis with your client. And he said, if you don't mind, I just want to put my 2 pennies worth in. And he said, in these times now, I would be more wary than ever of moving positions. And if I knew that a consultant or a recruiter had been paid a retainer, it would tell me that the client was absolutely serious about making the hire. And although it might not mean that I eventually made the move, it would all depend on whether it was right or not, it would definitely mean that I would listen. I would definitely listen. Whereas, you know, and how powerful is that when you're explaining to a client the need, you know, and the benefits of working together in that way.
Definitely. I think this is a chance for recruitment to really sort of take stock of how it operates and pause and rethink. So I think it's a great insight for people to get that notion into their heads now. What key things should recruiters be doing to get themselves ahead of their competition, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you and I are both really optimistic, and we're both really positive thinkers, aren't we? We're always looking for the silver lining. And I know that, you know, we've talked offline about this being such an amazing opportunity. You know, yes, it's awful for, you know, and a lot of people are in very difficult situations, and those of us that aren't and are blessed to be, you know, safe and well, should really be embracing it as the opportunity that it is to. And for me, the biggest thing here is learning, you know, is yes, look after yourself and look after your families, but use it to grow and get better and know more about what you're doing. So my advice would be to, you know, learn everything that you possibly can about everything. You know, I'm learning about all sorts of stuff. Like, I'm reading this fabulous book on marketing. I know sales inside out, but I know absolutely nothing about marketing. And I really encourage candidates to learn about their market, and of course, you know, learn all about their clients, and learn all about their candidates. But really, I would like to encourage people to learn, you know, about the talent pools as a whole, and trends, and gathering intelligence in that way, but also look at it from the other side and learn about HR and learn about talent acquisition. You know, I really like to help people and encourage people to start to become partners and strategic partners to their clients, rather than this kind of, you know, reactive transactional master slave relationship. And I think to be able to do that, you know, I know, because I can remember being a recruiter myself and being terrified of asking the questions that I kept being told to ask, like, ask them what challenges they're facing in talent acquisition. I was thinking, oh my God, what if they say, you know, I'm facing challenges in retention? How the hell am I going to deal with that conversation? I don't know anything about it. So I would be worried about asking those questions. So now's the time, you know, find out what succession planning is. Find out what retention means in a talent acquisition sense, and how you can overcome those kind of challenges. What challenges do talent acquisition and HR actually face? Because having worked for not only exec search firms and recruitment businesses, but also executive research firms, I know that the resources that is used to provide the answers to those challenges is us. It's recruiters, the skill sets we have. So, you know, we can start to find out about, then we can start to ask questions to our clients about, you know, what challenges do you face, and can I be doing stuff now that could actually help you in the future that I'm doing anyway? So just by talking to candidates and talking to my candidate pool and my talent and the talent pool, which is, you know, your talent pool and interesting to you, I could find out all sorts of stuff for you. You know, I could collect a bit of salary data for you. I could find out how you're perceived in the market. I could find out how your competitors are structuring these departments, or what kind of career paths they're offering people, or what do you want to find out? I'm going to be talking to this talent pool anyway. And you might find that clients are actually saying, well, actually, you know, I had one the other day, and they've got some really critical positions coming up for retirement. And she managed to uncover that. Now, there's nothing they can do about it. There's a recruitment freeze on, we can't hire. But what she can do is go and gather intelligence about who is in that talent pool, where they are, and start to engage them, start to have conversations with them, so we can start to build a pipeline. And that does two things. Like, that really puts her in, you know, really good position with those candidates, so she's got them at the ready, but it also ring fences that opportunity with that client, because she's already made a head start on it. Yeah. So those are the kind of, I know that's a long answer, but those are the kind of things that I'd really like people to be doing.
I think that the time of the transactional reactive recruiter is over. In conclusion to what you said,
I'd like that.
Speaking to a number of business owners myself this week, it's really paramount that recruiters who are very blinkered and thinking it'll just go back to the way it was, you need to really stop and think about that. And listen to the likes of Louise, and really think about your strength and your knowledge, that you'd be surprised. You know, you're not going to suddenly need to go and do a CIPD. This is just about asking the questions and about using, there's so many resources available, aren't there, to go and find out this information. So I think it's just thinking a bit more creatively and being a true consultant. That's basically what you described, isn't it? It's, you know, consulting the market, not being afraid to offer that information. Oh, it's been really insightful. And how are you personally keeping motivated, being a working mom?
Yeah, no, it's great, Leisha. It's always good to chat to you. I'm good. I'm really good. My whole world has changed overnight. You know, almost all of the stuff that I was doing was face to face, as you know, and not only like, you know, on-site with the consultants and working with them in the classroom and at their desk, but also going out with them and meeting clients, which of course just all of it's just come to a halt. But what I am doing is developing my course and my program for video, and so I'll have an online course available, hopefully coming very soon, which has been a whole new learning experience for me. I thought I could just pick up what I do in the classroom and just deliver it to a video camera and hey presto, but it turns out it's not quite as simple as that, but it's good fun.
Well, you're practicing what you're preaching, and thank you so much for joining me today. And for anyone who is interested to know more, Louise's contact details will be attached to this video. Thank you, Louise.